You wake up. For a second, the dream is still there. You can feel the shape of it, the place you were, the person you were talking to. You reach for your phone to write it down, and by the time you unlock the screen, it's gone. Not faded. Gone. Like it was never there at all. This happens to nearly everyone, almost every single day, and the real reason behind it has nothing to do with a bad memory. Your brain isn't failing to remember your dreams. It's actively erasing them, on purpose, while you sleep. To understand why, you have to understand what's actually happening inside your skull each night. Most vivid dreaming happens during a stage of sleep called REM, short for rapid eye movement. Your eyes dart back and forth beneath closed lids. Your brain activity looks almost identical to being awake. But your body is paralyzed, a state researchers call rematonia, so you don't act out what you're dreaming. Here's the strange part. During REM sleep, one of the most important memory-forming structures in your entire brain goes quiet. It's called the hippocampus, and it's essentially the brain's filing system. While you're awake, it takes the events of your day and gradually files them into long-term storage. But sleep researcher Matthew Walker, who has spent decades studying the sleeping brain, has shown that key chemical signals the hippocampus relies on for encoding new memories drop sharply during REM sleep. The very system responsible for making memories stick is running at reduced capacity while you dream. So the dream is happening, vividly, in full color, with plot and dialogue and emotion. But almost nothing about it is being written down. Think of it like a live performance with no camera in the room. The show is real. It's happening right now, in front of an audience of one. But once it ends, there's no recording to play back. Why would evolution build a brain that experiences something so rich and then throws it away? One theory comes from psychiatrist J. Allen Hobson, who spent his career studying the neuroscience of dreaming. Hobson proposed that dreaming may be a kind of offline rehearsal, your brain running simulations, testing scenarios, working through emotional material, without needing to remember the specific details afterward. The value isn't in recalling the dream, it's in whatever processing the dream allowed your brain to do while you were unconscious. That would explain something curious. Dreams often replay emotional themes from your life: anxiety, conflict, unresolved situations, but rarely replay them literally. Your brain doesn't need you to remember the metaphor. It just needs to run the simulation. There's also a more mechanical explanation, and it comes down to timing. Sleep scientist Francesca Ciclari has used brain imaging to study exactly when dream recall becomes possible. Her research found that the parts of the brain associated with subjective awareness stay active during REM, which is why dreams feel so real while they're happening. But the transition out of REM sleep matters enormously. If you wake up gradually, or wake up later in the sleep cycle, the memory of the dream tends to evaporate almost instantly. If you wake up abruptly, directly out of REM, you're far more likely to remember it in detail. That's why dreams right before your alarm goes off feel so vivid. You're catching the performance while the lights are still on. Sleep in even 5 more minutes, drifting through another sleep stage, and the recording gets wiped before you ever get the chance to press play. This also explains something almost everyone has experienced. You wake up mid-dream in the middle of the night, remember it clearly, fall back asleep, and by morning it's completely gone. Different chemistry, different stage of sleep, a different window that simply closed. So what does this mean for you tonight, the next time you wake up mid-dream? It means the dream never actually left. Your brain didn't lose the file. It never saved one to begin with. The performance was real. The emotions were real. The experience happened exactly as vividly as it felt. It just wasn't built to last past the final scene. Every night, your brain runs an entire private theater, just for you, with no recording device in the room. It writes, performs, and directs an experience more strange and more personal than almost anything you'll encounter awake. And then, without asking your permission, it lets the whole thing go. You wake up. For a second, the dream is still there, and then it isn't. Not because you forgot it, because it was never meant to stay.